So that was October and then April.
And by the way, the FBI agents on this case were just absolutely outraged that the President of the United States tried to Bigfoot the investigation all the way back in October. It was so inappropriate.
So flash forward to 8 days ago when President Bill Clinton had a private meeting with Attorney General Loretta Lynch on a tarmac in Phoenix. He made a point of getting on her plane to talk to her. Lynch says they discussed personal issues like golf and grandkids unrelated to the investigation of Secretary Clinton, only it was followed up days later in the New York Times, which reported that the Clintons appeared to dangle a job in front of the Attorney General. Quote, Democrats close to Mrs. Clinton say she may decide to retain Miss Lynch, who took office in April of 2015.
John Heilman. By the way, written in the New York Times without comment that the Clintons are dangling a job offer in front of a woman that has the power to indict her and end her presidential campaign.
I have to say that I, thought that the thing that Bill Clinton did with Loretta Lynch was ridiculous and brought all kinds of political problems on his wife. And you kind of want to write it off. Not write it off in the sense that it's not bad, but write it to, oh, Bill Clinton, you can't control Bill Clinton. Right. This thing in the New York Times coming directly after that, in what appears to be a choreographed way, that that they decided to leak through cutouts to the New York Times the notion that Lynch might be retained in the administration. It just makes the whole thing stink.
Wait a minute.
And it makes the whole thing stink, and it just provides, again, such fodder to Trump's arguments about this is just a rigged system, it's a corrupt elite, a corrupt establishment, this whole thing is just rotten to the core.
Okay.
It's just so self-lacerating that they engaged in this behavior in the run-up to when they knew.
Compress it all for like 5 days.
Yes.
You got the meeting with Bill Clinton, Loretta Lynch. You have the New York Times article dangling the job. You have the secret meeting with the FBI tucked away in a July 4th meeting on a Saturday morning.
Well, I don't think the Clinton campaign.
It just happened to be on a Saturday morning, July 4th weekend. It just happened to be. And then, as the news breaks that there's no charges, but the president is live at 5 p.m. in North Carolina with Hillary Clinton flying down on Air Force One to step on the news cycle. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry. Are we this stupid? We're not stupid.
Right.
Maybe the American people are really stupid.
It is a different standard, and the American people aren't stupid. They get it. They see plain and simple that the Clintons are held to a different standard, and that is why Trump has managed to rise so much over this past year, a non-politician, because people are sick and tired.
Steve.
Well, and also Bernie Sanders.
He's going to take it.
And Bernie Sanders are being held to a different standard.
Okay, fine, we got that. Let's just separate this into a couple pieces. So the meeting on the plane, mistake. The leaking or whatever that statement about maybe retaining Loretta Lynch, mistake.
Horrific.
How about getting the private server? Mistake.
We seriously, when James Comey said that he did not coordinate the timing of his statement or the content with anybody in the Justice Department or the administration, are we saying that he's a liar? That somehow they knew he was going to come out at Monday at 3 o'clock?
Do you think the president knew?
He said he didn't speak to anybody about it. So
that must be true.
You don't think
no, but Mika.
What are we supposed to do?
Wait a second, Steve. It's in the newspaper for 3 days beforehand that the FBI has leaked that she's not going to be indicted. You don't think the timing of the press conference isn't leaked as well? If they're leaking she's not going to be indicted, the FBI was leaking like sieves, saying, "Oh, she's not going to be indicted. She's not going." People close to the investigation say she's not going to be indicted. She's not going to be indicted.
But
nobody. Barack Obama knew he was going
I don't
yesterday?
know if Barack Obama knew, but all the people who got those other leaks, nobody seemed to think that that Comey was coming out on Tuesday morning.
So what are you telling me? What are you telling me?
I'm trying to separate mistakes the Clintons made, of which there were many, and some of which they've acknowledged, others maybe they haven't yet, maybe they will, from the fact that all of you guys, or several of you anyway, are questioning the integrity of James Comey, who till this moment...
I never...
Yes, you... Well, Joe is certainly questioning.
Mika, please, let me repeat again for the 15th time. I'm not questioning his integrity. I'm questioning his courage. He just didn't want to take down. It's kind of like John Roberts didn't want to be responsible for taking down the Affordable Care Act. He didn't want that on his court. James Comey didn't want to take down a Democratic nominee.
But you are questioning his integrity, because if Hillary Clinton deserved to be indicted and James Comey lacked the courage to indict her, that means he lacks integrity.
Mark Halpin, go ahead.
Well, there's prosecutorial discretion, so it doesn't mean it's not integrity. It may be courage, it may be judgment. What he did, though, was extraordinary. He opened the door here. The notion that the FBI director, he's not a prosecutor, and even if he were, you're not supposed to come out without an indictment. You're supposed to speak in court and say, here's all the things I say she did wrong, she can't rebut them, and I decided she's not going to be indicted. I agree with Mika. You can't look at the timing of this series of events and just our role as journalists is to question people in government. It doesn't mean we're questioning their integrity. But how could these things be a coincidence? From the meeting to the Saturday interview to Comey's decision to the day President Obama was campaigning with her. There's something else going on here. There's just too much coordination. And I don't question Comey's integrity, but his decision to do what he did, when he did it, and come out and claim, I think there needs to be transparency, there needs to be accountability. He answered no questions from the press. He decided what evidence he was going to cite. I can see the Clinton people being furious at that, but I also see Republicans, of course, are furious for the judgment he reached. There needs to be real transparency and accountability for something so important.
And David Ignatius, by the way, he's been reporting for about 3 months now that the FBI has said there is a higher standard for somebody running for president of the United States. The FBI has been reporting that to David Ignatius.